Back in the 90s, there was nothing like walking into an arcade and finding a fantastic game to play with your friends. Oh man, do I remember those days. No, actually I don't remember those days. That's just what I keep hearing people say. I was born in '99 and never set foot in an arcade. But I do know a little something about co-op games and gaming as a couple on a home console. So I can still appreciate a classic co-op rendition of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
I, on the other hand, did play an old Turtle game and have been in many an arcade, and wow, did this game fill me with such a strong sense of nostalgia. Not only that, but the developers did a fantastic job of bringing this retro-themed beat-em-up into the modern world of gaming, sticking to the roots of a classic beat-em-up with each of its 16 levels having you walk or use a hoverboard to glide to the right, stop, fight baddies, and keep going, with a little exploration up and down. The formula is simple, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Shredder's Revenge is an absolute tribute to the Turtles in a Half Shell. It is filled with one nod after another, while also bringing plenty of its own charm. But even if you know little about the Turtles like me, there will always be something to keep you laughing and enjoying yourself in this epic reptilian adventure. Each level has its own unique environment and a great soundtrack that occasionally had us rocking and feeling gnarly. Not only that, but the baddies fit the theme as well. Carly got a real kick out of fighting dinosaurs in the museum.
No matter how far you are through the game, there will always be something that will make you chuckle. Whether it's the Foot Clan stealing the tires off your monster truck, an innocent floorboard whacking you in the face, some funny catchphrase, enemies throwing ice blocks with ham in them, or the different characters' unique animations that will make any Turtles fan feel right at home. With that and the constant activity in the background, the game is a feast for the eyes and the soul. However, after an hour or two, it did start to feel just a tiny bit repetitive.
One of the things that helped us break up the barrage was the little progression each character has in the story mode. As you fight through the hordes of colorfully suited ninjas, you will inevitably level up, which brings additional power moves, power bars, and more. This, along with the optional challenges that would notify you when you failed, and the occasional collectible, really helped to add to the sense of accomplishment we felt as we played through the game and fought off a little bit of the repetitiveness.
At the very beginning, you are presented with the option to choose between 6 different characters, and you unlock another upon beating the game. Different characters have different abilities and fighting styles that are unique to them, while also remaining similar enough to somewhat seamlessly transition to another character, other than losing your level progression. So you all get to enjoy learning your own character and bonding with them, though some are definitely a little cooler than others. Ryrie found himself severely jealous of me as I played Donatello, who in our opinion is far superior.
I mean, it's true. Each of the characters has their own stats, and their power abilities are super different. Mine was really lame compared to Carly's. Donatello has the longest reach and can hit from a mile away. Leonardo has an awesome spinning somersault attack that I missed a ton when I switched to Mikey. And, well, we'll let you find out the rest for yourself. Though if you ask Carly, it's all in my head, and it's really just that she's so much better than me, so I guess you could take that view if you want to.
Aside from the fact that I am so much better than Ryrie, there are a couple of fun ways that you get to work together. If you stand close to each other and press L, you can share some of your health and postpone their death a little longer. Whenever Ryrie inevitably died, I also had the opportunity to stand by him and hold L in order to revive him and keep him from losing a life off his counter. And if you're good enough, you can even time an attack together and perform a special move to sandwich enemies between you. This had us exclaiming with joy every time we managed to do it.
We would scream if we missed reviving each other, or cheer if we just barely managed to bring each other back before taking a hit. We found it nice that most of the time the enemies would take a slight break, or seem to have a short fit of amnesia when you attempted to revive a friend, though some like Shredder himself would have none of it. These are little mechanics on top of the core co-op experience that is simply having fun beating the crap out of the Foot Clan together and screaming when you need help.
It's not incredibly hard, which makes it a great game to pick up with family or a spouse that is not very gaming inclined, since they can get by with simple button mashing. Which brings us to a small gripe about the controls. A lot of what we did was button mash, not because the controls were bad, but because there wasn't a proper tutorial. When you first start the game, it teaches you 21 different actions you can perform, which felt a little overwhelming, and we wish that they had just been slowly woven into the game along the first level. We promptly forgot all moves except for Y's attack, so we had to continually pull up the controls menu to learn new things along the way.
The difficulty increased with each level, though it did feel a little slow at first. By the end, it felt like a pretty good challenge on normal, and we even lost a couple of levels. The game supports up to 6 players locally and online, so it's great for parties, but honestly we enjoyed the game thoroughly with only 2 players. Things were already hectic enough with the 2 of us and the enemies enemies on screen. We even occasionally found ourselves mistaking which character we were. Probably a byproduct of all the turtles being, well, turtles. So we can't imagine how crowded it would be with 6 players.
It took us 3.5 hours to complete the game while chatting with our stream and replaying a couple of levels that we had lost. But the consensus seems to be around 2 to 4 hours. This felt a little short for us, especially for $25. Though, to our understanding, this seems to be a staple of the genre, as the games are meant to be replayed and enjoyed several times as you hone your skills, which I assume is part of the reason for the arcade mode, that allows you to play through the game with a little more challenge, less lives, and no cutscenes.
While we did thoroughly enjoy Shredder's Revenge and have no doubt that it's a fantastic co-op game, if you're not a big fan of the Turtles, we don't see a lot of reason to play it over other similar and possibly better games in a cheaper price range.
We would recommend checking out Castle Crashers, a fantastic and hilarious beat-em-up with colorful knights, damsels in distress, cool weapons, and more, all for the price of $15. We would choose this over TMNT any day. You can check out our review of the game here. We love you guys.
Y'all are awesome.